This video is sponsored by Amino. Amino is an app for iOS and Android which allows you to join communities for any and every interest you may have. For example, I am a massive fan of Star Wars. I know, shocking stuff. As such, I have joined the Star Wars community on Amino where I can chat with other users, test my knowledge, participate in polls, share funny memes, and plug YouTube lore channels. And as a fiend for all things lore, I particularly enjoy reading people's wiki pages on characters from both Star Wars canon and Legends. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, click the link in the description box below and be sure to follow me at TheCancrizans. Cheers. There is often a fine line between good and evil, and the galaxy far, far away is certainly no exception. After all, look at how many times men and women have transitioned from honourable Jedi Masters to deluded Sith Lords believing their actions to be righteous and just. And due to these sways in allegiance, countless light side force powers have found themselves wielded in the wrong hands. So with that in mind, here are 9 light side force powers used by Sith. Number 9. Hibernation Trance. Entirely based on one's self-control, where the user's metabolism and breathing were slowed to a standstill, Hibernation Trance allowed for intense meditation for weeks on end. For all intents and purposes, the practitioner appeared to be dead, or at the very least in a coma-like state. This sometimes led to very unfortunate incidents if fellow Jedi were unaware of the technique or the perilous conditions involved. And I say Jedi because the trance was widely utilised by members of the Sacred Order, to the point where it was often referred to as Jedi Hibernation. But don't let such a name fool you, for the Force ability was far from exclusive. Darth Traya, for example, used the death-like state Hibernation Trance afforded her in a bid to infiltrate the Perigus mining facility. Number 8. Revitalize. Perhaps due to her allegiance with the Jedi before her tenure as a Sith Lord, Hibernation Trance wasn't the only light side force ability used by Darth Traya. Indeed, the formerly known Kreia wielded Revitalize on 2 separate occasions as a means of reviving bounty hunter Hanar and Colonel Tobin respectively. Number 7. Animal Bond. Animal Bond, otherwise known as Beast Control, was a force ability which involved the taming of wild animals, and was employed by countless Jedi from Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi to Jacen and Jaina Solo. On the contrary, it was also wielded by various Sith Lords, such as Darth Bane, Darth Nihil, Gavar Kai, and, of course, Darth Traya. The former of which utilised Animal Bond to subdue the will of an attacking Bull Rancor, whilst the latter found joy in the power during a treacherous journey through a rather unfriendly jungle. Number 6. Alter Environment. In a similar manner to Animal Bond, Alter Environment enabled its user to manipulate nature, and so it could be used to manufacture pain-inducing sub-zero and sweltering temperatures, increase air pressure to burst eardrums, produce flash floods and earthquakes, and conjure deadly thunderstorms. At the behest of Jedi, these powers don't seem all that bad, but in the hands of Sith, they were extremely worrying. I mean, just imagine someone like Valkorion, who let's just say was powerful enough without additional force powers, employing any of the aforementioned abilities Alter Environment allowed. Number 5. Protection Bubble. Protection Bubble was rather self-explanatory, for it crafted a blue sphere of shimmering energy around the practitioner for safety reasons. Nevertheless, each globe was powerful enough to defend against blaster fire, lightsaber strikes, and even vacuums. Whilst they were used primarily for defense, however, protection bubbles could be utilised offensively. For example, if engulfed by the sphere, an opponent would be subjected to their very own attack. The only drawback to this power was the extraordinary concentration needed to sustain the bubble, yet this failed to prevent the likes of Darth Azard, Eldon Axe and Darth Talon from wielding such an ability. Number 4. Force Harmony. Formed by the combined energies of several Jedi, Force Harmony was an illumination of the light side that protected against dark side powers. In fact, the waves of clarity could go as far as to sever enemies completely from the dark side of the Force. So it goes without saying that this power was not exactly Sith friendly, right? Well, judging by the title of today's video, stranger things have happened. Indeed, ancient Dark Lord Freedon Nad was able to use Force Harmony due to his mastery of both Jedi and Sith abilities. Number 3. Sever Force. Speaking of completely detaching enemies from either the light side or the dark side, Sever Force was a non-lethal power by which a foe's connection to the Force was interrupted or blocked, and even when it returned, their bodies would be engulfed by a sudden and painful rush of emotions. Such was the case with Ben Skywalker, who suffered the loss of his Force connection at the hands of Sith Lord Darth Caedus. Likewise, Sever Force was reversed and then wielded by Darth Traya on Jedi Masters Kavar, Zez-Kai-El and Vrook Lamar, all of whom were ultimately killed for their efforts. Number 2. Tutaminis. Tutaminis was a broad term used by the Jedi Order to classify Force abilities related to energy absorption. The various techniques were often taught to initiates within the Jedi Academy, although they would later become sparsely utilised during the days of the Galactic Republic. Regardless, perhaps the most famous example of Tutaminis occurred in 3667 BBY, when Satele Shan blocked Darth Malgus' lightsaber blade with her bare hands. Grandmaster Yoda was another legendary Jedi who showcased this immense skill, doing so in a bout with former apprentice Count Dooku by absorbing a barrage of Force lightning. Despite its association with the light side, however, many Sith were known to wield the ability on occasion, the likes of Starkiller, Darth Plagueis, and Darth Krayt. Number 1. Force Ghost. Topping today's list, and for good reason, is Force Ghost. Why? Well, Force Ghost is perhaps the most light side associated Force power to ever grace the galaxy far, far away. I mean, what could be more of an incentive to be selfless and well-meaning than to come back from the dead as a guiding spirit? But despite its unmistakable affiliation with the Jedi Order and rich lineage of light side practitioners, some Sith Lords learned of similar techniques to also rise from the grave. For example, dark side users could attach themselves to an object or location upon death, such as a holocron or temple. And so, Marka Ragnos found a way to return to the living realm as an apparition, giving him the chance to pass on his vast and invaluable knowledge. Know of any more light side Force abilities wielded by Sith? Let us know in the comments below. If you learned something new from today's video, be sure to leave a like. And for weekly countdown content, press that subscribe button and notification bell to keep it locked here to the TheCancrizans.